How's it going, guys, and welcome back to BL3's Forgotten, the series where I take a look at unused and not often talked about pieces of gear to determine whether or not they deserve to be remembered within the modern meta of the game or should be left behind and forgotten. And today we are taking a look at the Night Hawkin. If you'd like to farm the Night Hawkin for yourself, you actually have two options, but I'm going to start with the Demoskaggon option as this is my preferred method. Fast travel over to the Droughts, taking either fast travel station, and make your way over to the save station. From there, you're going to run forward and behind the big shipping container tower and into this little enclosed rocky area. Kill a couple stags and then two Demoskaggons will eventually jump down from the top. Kill them and you can get yourself the Night Hawkin. And the other farm is Rakkman over in Carnivora. Fast travel there, run your way through the mobbing section, and right before the big open area you will find a save station which will be resetting from. From there you have to make your way all the way across Carnivora and over to this cave where Rakkman will spawn. Luckily out front of this save station there is a catch-a-ride station, but you do still have to drive all the way across Carnivora. While this travel occurs, let me talk about the trade-off here, as Rakkman is a better drop source, having a 15% chance to drop it, whereas the Demoskaggons each have a 6.7% chance, meaning that total, if you kill both of them, that's a 13.4% chance to drop the Night Hawkin. So you have a little bit less than a 2% difference between these two drop sources, where Rakkman's the better, but you have a much longer farm. But of course, once you get over to him, kill him, and he can also drop you the Night Hawkin. The Night Hawkin is a legendary Dahl SMG only able to roll in cryo, though this does change at nighttime. During the day, the Night Hawkin is just ×1 in cryo damage. However, depending on the time of night, it can be either ×2 or ×3 and deal incendiary damage. Keep in mind that the multiplier will show on the card and can be misleading as it will only show whenever you load it into the game. So if you load into the game or have it drop at night, the item card will say ×3, but if you're playing and it becomes daytime, the card will still say ×3 despite it shooting only one projectile. This is also based off of the time in-game, however I'm not entirely sure it's actually the visual time, as different planets have different day-night cycles, and I do remember times where this thing was firing incendiary shots in the middle of the fucking day. So this effect is a little bit buggy. Now before I get into things here though, I do want to talk about Loot Lemon's listing of this weapon, because while Loot Lemon is a fantastic resource that I would highly recommend if you don't know about it, the description given by Loot Lemon for the Night Hawkin just kind of sounds like the ramblings of a madman. I literally sat through an entire day-night cycle on Athenas to try to confirm any of what this says. I never once saw it go to ×4, and no matter what, it was always swapping to incendiary at night. This claim about the Arctic prefix, seeming to imply that it's not always Arctic, is very strange because Arctic is literally just the cryo damage prefix, and the card will always list itself as cryo damage. The only way I could see you not having an Arctic Night Hawkin is either through modding, or because cryo damage is locked behind a specific level, getting a Night Hawkin to drop under that level. But even if that is the case and what they're talking about here, it's still an incorrect claim as they say that the Arctic prefix makes it not swap to fire damage, which it will always do. So I don't know, I bring this up just because Loot Lemon is a very good resource and I love pointing to it, but this is just wildly incorrect. Anyways, actually talking about the gun, listen, she may be hawking on my night, but ain't no way she gonna be nighting on my hawk, you know what I mean? The Night Hawkin is substantially better during the night. Like, insane amounts better during the night. It is an entirely fucking different gun. It goes from being fucking doo-doo shit feces to actually being probably more than viable and actually good. However, this is inconsistent as hell because, again, not only, as I said, some fucking planets just consider it night when it's broad fucking daylight, but there is quite literally a locked time frame in which this gun is fucking usable. So at least half the time you're carrying a fucking glorified paperweight. And that's entirely based on a game mechanic that's completely out of your fucking control. And beyond that, I'm pretty sure the Night Hawkin is completely non-functional during Guardian Takedown and Mollywan Takedown. I waited for quite some fucking time. I'm pretty sure the time of day just does not change in these areas. And you are always having to use daytime Night Hawkin. Just to illustrate this further, look, you can watch the ×3 fall off in real time. At the start of this Amara clip, I have ×3 as it's nighttime, and just a few seconds later, the gun fucking sucks. I mean, really, the difference here is, it's just night and day. I really like the concept of this gun, and it's why it's so frustrating, because it is also just a very fun gun to use. It's a pretty fun and pretty cool looking Dahl SMG that goes from being a pretty basic SMG to being kind of like this cool shotgunning SMG, and I like that. I enjoy having that variability. The problem is there's absolutely no fucking way to interact with these variables yourself. It is completely out of your control, and the difference in strength between the two sides of this weapon are so fucking drastic. And the thing is, I'm totally fine with that. If this gun was as shit as it is in daytime, that is totally okay because of how strong it is at nighttime. The thing is that would have fixed this is if it had a piece of gear that went with it, like a shield or something, that would make the gun function like it was always in night mode. You would have to sacrifice your shield for this effect, which means that it being strong is warranted. Either you get that strength 50% of the time, or you sacrifice your shield slot to always have it. That is a completely fair trade-off. But nah, instead we get this really cool idea for a gun with a fucking neat and unique gimmick to it that in the endgame is honestly just pretty much fucking useless. The Night Hawkin has potential, but just simply never lived up to it. It's a cool idea, but the variability is just way too much, and the fact that you really can't interact with this gimmick yourself is really annoying and frustrating. And honestly, it's pretty strange to me that this gun never received any sort of buff, because I do see that a lot of people in the community really like this weapon and do want to actually be able to use it, but it just really never got the love that it deserved. That's gonna about do it for this one though. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, definitely consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all that. I'll be live right after this video goes up right here on YouTube, but I'll also be live over on Twitch, where there will be a link to in the description. Just under that is also a link to my Discord server where you can come and join and hang out. But with that all being said, I hope to see you guys in the next one.